My guest first is Dalton Fisher. Now, he is a current student at WyoTech. As I said, he's one of the first of two recipients of the Heavy Duty Parts Report Scholarship, and he is a future diesel technician. Dalton, welcome to the Heavy Duty Parts Report. Very, very glad to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I wanted to talk right off the bat about one of the reasons that we picked you, Dalton. And when I looked at your application, and for those listening who understand, we had dozens of applicants. This was a tough decision. And Dalton, one of the things that really stood out for me was your clear dedication to becoming a diesel technician. Perfect attendance, excellent grades, 91% at the lowest, 98% at the highest right now. And I really like what you said about putting yourself into a better lifestyle by pursuing this career. I know myself, when I was first entering heavy duty, I didn't fully appreciate how impactful it was going to be, not only on my career, but on my personal life. So I am so glad that you are going to join this industry. So congratulations on being selected for the scholarship. And now I'd like to take a little bit of time to get to know you better. Where are you from originally, and what was it like growing up there?
I'm from a small town in Indiana. It's very, very small. So you kind of grew up knowing everybody around there. So there wasn't really not knowing anybody. And in Indiana, you got a lot of farmers. So I kind of grew up around all that heavy duty stuff, equipment, especially the heavy ag side. My dad was an auctioneer. So I was always getting to see a constant influx of heavy duty equipment that he was selling all the time. And I also got chances when I was younger he helped out some local farmers all the time running grain beds and stuff like that. So I got to ride in the harvesters and stuff like that all the time. So I was always just kind of around it. And that's just kind of how it was, just growing up around it all the time. It was pretty laid back all the time.
Right, and that exposure to the industry is important. I think for a lot of families, if they aren't around it, it's almost like the whole industry is invisible to them, right? Food just shows up at their table, and everything they need is there at their disposal, but they don't really think about like, how did it get there, right? So with your dad being an auctioneer and selling equipment, obviously you have to, oftentimes you bring in a piece of equipment you're going to sell, you got to fix it up. So was he kind of a do-it-yourself kind of guy, and he had you along with him and he taught you, or how did that work?
Oh, he was a really heavy do-it-yourself all the time. Very seldom he had anybody else do the fixing on all of his stuff. I know he did take his semi in a couple times in the shop so they could do some like professional work on it, so it would stay running for quite a long time. And I did get to watch him. I was a flashlight holder, so I got the honor of doing that job. That teaches you quite a lot. So
it sure does. It sure does. So as you were growing up in that environment, some kids might have said, no, this is not what I want to do. You, on the other hand, were attracted to becoming a diesel technician. Just tell me about why that is.
I just kind of like working with my hands. I don't think I could see myself working in an office anywhere. I like to be outside. Also, I think the challenge of it there is you're always trying to think outside the box of what could be wrong, why is it wrong, how do you fix it? And it just kind of keeps changing. I don't want to do the same thing every day. And I think that's really what kind of drives me there, because it's new every day. You don't know what's going to show up and what you're going to do that day.
Oh, I agree with that. Now, I've never been a technician on the repair side, but I've been in the parts business almost my whole life. And one of the things I genuinely appreciate about the business is there's always something new to learn. There's always a new challenge to try to like overcome. And that I find very appealing myself. So